Hello, today is a special video that I've wanted to make for a while, and this will be my Pokemon card collection tour. Now, I've collected a lot of Pokemon cards over the years. I started back in 2015, although I wasn't really a fan back then because of the McDonald's Happy Meals cards that they would always put out every year, and I always went through and collected those, even though I hadn't played the games at that point. Back about 2 years ago, I got into playing the Pokemon games, and I started liking the franchise a lot more, so I collected more of the cards. But anyway, today we're going to go through my Pokemon card books, starting with the shiny holographic cards, and we're going to move on from there to things like the McDonald's promo cards and all that. And there's just going to be a bunch of really cool cards that I'm excited to show on camera. So starting off with the holographic cards, you can see that I had the 4 Treasures of Ruin at the top, and I have Miraidon and Koraidon, and Glamora and Annihilate. And my favorite card that I have, or at least one of my favorites, is that very first one up here, Shin Pao, because that is my favorite Pokemon. It was also one of the first legendaries that I caught that I was very excited to get. And when I was able to get the card of that character, that made me very happy. So I actually ended up just buying the battle deck because I wasn't going to keep buying the Scarlet and Violet packs trying to get that one. Which is what I learned to do with most of the cards, is if there's one that I specifically want, I'm better just to order that individually than try to blindly get it in one of the packs. But anyway, I'll show off the holographic shine that these have. Let me use my light in RGB mode. Hang on a second. This light is supposed to do all kinds of colors. There it goes. Let me turn my other light off. That's not really as cool as I thought it was going to be. But these are really shiny in real life if you look at them. Maybe I can just turn the page and show that. They're way prettier looking in real life. But anyway, on to the next pages. Oops, I accidentally moved the camera. You can see that I have Arceus and Dialga and Giratina and Palkia, all of the main legendaries, I guess you could say. And these are all holographic as well. Up at the top, you can see I have some of the V-Star cards. And over here on the right, you can see I have Calyrex and his horses. And I have Mew and Mewtwo. Let me get that to not glare so much so you can see those. There's too much light. Sometimes there's not enough light, and sometimes there's too much of it. So I'm just gonna move the book so that there's not so much glare. Now, that's a better way to show off how much these shine, is to do that. These are all very shiny. I even have Melmetal over here. And I have a shiny Greninja as well. Well, not shiny, but holographic Greninja. I keep getting that confused within the game because you go shiny hunting for a different coloration one. But these are literally shiny cards since they're so reflective. But on to the next page, I have some of these older cards. These are very shiny looking. I'm just gonna move the camera and show those. I have the Galarian birds up at the top, and I have a Mega Charizard card, Mega Blastoise, and then I have Charizard GX and Espeon, Glaceon, and the Alolan Ninetales. And over on the right, I have some more cards kind of like that. Those are very reflective. They look very cool. Let me get my light how I want it. Anyway, over here you can see I have Meowscarada and Sprigito, a very shiny Sprigito card down here. It's very reflective. And there is literally a shiny Greninja this time. It's just called Radiant Greninja. And on this next page, I left some empty spaces because at this point in time, there's a few cards that I assume they're going to come out with that I was leaving space for, which will be Ogerpon and the Loyal 3. So I was having spaces for them. And then when they do that turtle Pokemon in that final Scarlet and Violet update, I assume I'll get the card off of that one as well. But over here we have more holographic cards. These are reverse holo cards, I believe is what these are called, where kind of the front of the card is reflective except for the thing inside of it. So these look cool. Over here you can see I have Wigglytuff, Graveyard. I kind of had these organized by color and type, so you'll notice that more as we keep going. because over here I have the fighting type, and then it looks like they changed the socket type's colors over to time because some of these are darker looking than the other ones. But anyway, on the next page, you can see I have my holographic water types and metal types, steel types, whichever one you want to call that, since it is different in the card game than the actual video game for some reason. And you can see I have my holographic fire types, electric types, and dark types. And over here, I have a little bit more electric types, and then the grass ones. All of these are holographic. This kind of does show pretty good on camera though, I will say. So you can see they are very reflective. And I have a lot of normal types, so there's that. And we're almost to the end of the holographic cards, as you can see on the left. And I'm pretty sure after that we have a few more types of holographics. It's kind of like the back of the card is holographic, but the rest isn't. I don't like these quite as much, but I wish they had more shine to them. But other than that, we go on to the next page, and we are still in the holographic cards. Over on the left, these don't shine quite as much as I said, but over on the right, we're getting to the McDonald's cards that they made. I have a lot of Pikachu cards up there, as you can see. I have one at the top based off the Arceus game that they did. And over here on this next page, you can see I have more of those shiny looking McDonald's cards. I always think the McDonald's cards have a very nice shine to them on the holographic, because they have kind of like that texture in the back. And there's quite a lot of those, so let me try turning off the light again and see if that will show the shine anymore. Let me mess with the light. This doesn't quite look how I wanted it to. I guess there really is no good way to show the shine on these cards like that, unless I really just move the book around. But on the next page, we have the last page of the holographic cards over here. And over on the right, we're getting to the 25th anniversary cards. And these are not holographic, so we're getting more into the playing cards, I guess you could say. So, you can see I have a 25th anniversary Torchic and Charmander. I have a few duplicates that I decided to keep. Normally I'd trade them, but since those are 25th anniversary cards, I decided to keep them. And you can see a lot more of those. And now we're moving on to the Pokemon Go cards. I do have a holographic one here, the holographic Pokemon Go Bulbasaur. And on the right, you can see more of the Pokemon Go cards. And over on the left over here, it's just more Pokemon Go cards. And on the right, we're getting to the single strike cards. I don't really know exactly what that is, as I got these in some random cards that I had ordered. So I guess that was from a different series. But you can see how that looks. And over here, we're getting to another type called Rapid Strike. I assume that's kind of like that single strike card series. And there's a lot more of those. And then there's some called Fusion Strike, and I have no idea what the three of those are. I'm guessing that was out of my time, since I just wasn't always very into the franchise until a year or two back. But anyway, now we're getting on to specific types. So we're starting over here with, I don't even know what type this is. It's not electric, but it's still like a yellow color. I know it's not in the game, whatever type this is. So I kind of just put the random types that aren't in the games onto these first pages up here. And you can see all of them. This also isn't psychic type or fairy type for some reason. Or maybe it is fairy type. Either way, it doesn't look like the one in the game. So but going on down, you can see I have all my fire types. Crocolar and Fuecoco and Litten and Incineroar and a bunch of those. They're still not holographic, but they're still that same type, so I put them all on the same page together. You can see I got more fire types here. And now we're going on to the steel types, and I was kind of dumb because I didn't put a card there. I have no idea how that happened. But once I get another steel type card, it's definitely going there. But going on to the next page, it's still more steel types. There's a whole lot of them. And the next page, we're going on to the electric types. And it's kind of funny that I didn't put all the Pikachu cards on here, but most of my Pikachu cards were holographic, so I thought it was kind of cool that I had a whole page dedicated to him. But as we keep going, it's still more electric types, a lot more electric types, and a lot of Rotums over here. I have a lot of that one specific Pokemon. And we're almost to the end of this book. Actually, we are on the final page of this book. And these are my final electric types in this book, I believe. It's the final cards in this book. So if there's any more electric ones, they're going to be in the next book. But I have a whole lot of Voltorb, however you say that one, and Electrode. So that's kind of cool. I had that one on a page like that. And there's one more Pikachu and Raichu over here. So now we'll go on to the next book. On the next page over here, you can see I have a few more electric types, and I actually left space open for more holographic cards that I don't have yet, as I do like the beginnings of my binders to have the holographic cards, since they do leave a good first impression, and they're just cool to look at. But now that we're out of the electric type, we're going on into the psychic types. You can see there's a lot of those with that purple coloration, and here's more on this page. I have a few where I kind of collected all of their different forms, and some of them where I just have different versions. I don't really put duplicates into my books though, and I just kind of put their other forms and different versions of that card, as you can see. So there's more of those. And here's the next page of that. I hope the camera isn't glaring too bad. I'm going to try to zoom in just a little bit more. And scoot the camera. There, that should help on my next few pages. Over here you can see I have more of that same type, and a few of these are older than others, as you can kind of see with the different style on the card. But now we're into the water types. I have a lot of Love Disc for some reason, and a lot of fish types. I kind of put all my fish type Pokemon, even though it's not a type. I mean, aquatic Pokemon are kind of all in the same place. A lot of fish looking ones and seahorse looking ones, stuff you can find in the ocean. Going on to that next page though, you can see I have even more like that. I kind of like how these pages look. And as I keep going, you can see I have Ducklet and Floatzel, a whole bunch of different versions of those for some reason, and a whole lot of different versions of, how do I pronounce that? Snowrunt. Yeah, about 5 different versions of that one. And then what it turns into by the end. As we keep going, you can see I have Psyduck, Golduck, and Dreadnought, all kinds of stuff. And Sea Titan, and a few other water types. I kind of feel like they should have ice type in the cards, because it's kind of confusing that this is a water type for some reason. But as we keep going, we're at the final page of the water ones, and now we're going on to the fighting type Pokemon. So on that right page, as I flip that, you can see I have some more on these pages. I have Lucario and a bunch of versions of Riolu for some reason. I guess they make more of that than they have of Lucario. And I have a few different versions of that Sandygast Pokemon with Palossand at the end. And as we keep going, you can just see more of the fighting type Pokemon. I find it kind of funny that there's so many different colors for this type of Pokemon. It's just kind of the orange shade fluctuates a little bit. Sometimes it looks lighter and sometimes it looks darker. But as we keep going, you can see I have more fighting types like that. And we are on the last page of the fighting types. Now we're going into the dark types, and if you hear a sound in the background, that is the clock, because it's 4 o'clock, so it chimed 4 times. But anyway, over here you can see I had the dark type Pokemon. This one over here looks like Grimace from McDonald's for some reason. So I pretty much always nicknamed that one Grimace. But I had this shark one too, that one looks kind of cool. And over here, you can see I have more of that same type. With some of these are still kind of a different version of Pokemon that I already had in the other books, as you may have seen. But they changed their type, so I just put them in this section instead. And as we keep going, you can see I have more of these. And I'm just gonna keep flipping the pages. And now that we're through that, we're going on to the normal type Pokemon. And I'm going to move this up just a little bit. I know I see the glare in the bottom right. There's really nothing I can do about that. So if I scoot this up, you can't see it no more. It's just the way the light is, I guess. But anyway, you can see that I have normal type cards over here. A few different versions of this mouse looking one. And I can't pronounce that actually. See, I played the game, but I don't narrate it to myself, so half the names I can't pronounce. But over here you see I have that pig one. I've always liked that Pokemon, Lechonk. And as we keep going, you can see I have more normal types over here. And a few of these are from very different years. And we're going to the last page of this book, which is this page right here. And the last one I have is Licky Tongue. And that's everything in this book, so we'll go ahead and move on to the last book. This book hasn't been filled up quite as much, as I haven't finished this one yet, so we won't have as many cards. But in the beginning, you can see I have some more holographic cards just right there. Not all of these are like that though. I really don't know why I put these like that, but that was the only place I could really put them right now. But over here you can see I have more normal type Pokemon, and there's a lot of those. And now that we're through the normal type, we're going into the grass type Pokemon. So over here you can see that I have quite a lot of these on this page, and on these pages right here I have a lot of Rowlet, as that one they seem to re-release every year with a different form. Not a different form, but a different variant of the card. So I have quite a few. And that was actually one of the first ones that I got from McDonald's, was the Rowlet card. But as we keep going, you can see that I have more grass types. I have Crustle down here, and Dwebble over here on this side. And up here you can see I have Combi and Vespiquen. I really don't know why I'm naming random ones. That's just the ones that's catching my eye as I look at the book. But as we keep going, you can see there's a few more of these grass type cards. And I have Applin over here. I don't know if they'll go ahead and do all the different forms of that Pokemon since it's getting so many. Maybe they will, and then I'll have to kind of dedicate a page to that one. But as we keep going, you can see there's a lot more of these grass type cards. This one they switched this type to grass for some reason, so it got put into this book. And on the last page of this, we have just those three. And this book hasn't been filled out, so there'll be a lot more cards to come for that one. So that's the end of that book for now. Here's a card that I just put up into a case, which came from GameStop. I decided not to put this one into my binder, as I just wanted to keep it in good condition since its value seems to keep going up. And it is one of those holographic Umbreon cards. I think it looks pretty cool, so you can see why I put it into so many different pieces of packaging. But there is that card. It shines pretty good as well. Well, that concludes my tour of my Pokemon card collection. So thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe, and goodbye.